This year, back to school is anything but back to normal as students return to classrooms in the wake of the pandemic. The nation's largest educators union is focused on giving every student 3 key elements to help them thrive. Joining us to discuss is National Education Association President Becky Pringle. Good morning, Becky, and thanks for joining us.
Good morning, Aubrey. It's good to be with you.
We talk a lot about being normal, but how close to normal are teachers really going to be this year?
So, Aubrey, I taught middle-level learners science for over 30 years. And this is what I know. This back-to-school season this year will be anything but normal. Educators all over this country have worked so incredibly hard over the winter and spring, and especially over this summer, to ensure that our schools are what they should be, the safest place to live and learn in any community. And we had such high hopes to start our school year off, having in place everything to keep our students safe and thriving. And then, of course, this Delta variant has thrown us a curveball. But we are doing what we always do, and that is fighting to make sure that first our students are safe, and that secondly, that they have all of the resources and support they need and so deserve so they can succeed in this rapidly changing and diverse world. So that's what we're focused on doing as we start back to school, and we are going to continue to fight to keep our students and educators safe.
Becky, you talk about there's key elements that are really going to help students and educators thrive this year. What are they?
So we are talking as I go around the country about the joy of learning, the joy of teaching, the joy of nurturing our students so they can learn. We are also talking about the reality that for far too many of our students, there are inequities built into our education system, as well as all the social systems that support our students, from healthcare to housing to economics. We know that we have to fight for education justice. And then finally, we are striving for excellence, excellence in our schools, excellence in our educators, excellence for our students. And so that's what we're going to be focusing on this year. But we have to first make sure they are safe. And so even though there are layers of mitigation strategies that will keep them safe, we especially are focused on making sure everyone who can be vaccinated is vaccinated. Both students and our educators, all of them, need to be wearing masks. And finally, we need to make sure that we have adequate and accessible regular testing for students and educators so that if any of them contract COVID, we can quickly isolate them so that not only can we come back to in-person learning, but we can also stay in-person learning and growing and engaging together.
And Becky, what can you tell parents, because the debate continues on both sides, whether or not to wear masks, and parents aren't always in agreement with what the schools where they live are saying. So what do you advise those parents to do if they're in that situation?
There should not be a debate about whether to wear a mask or not. We already know after 18 months that masks save lives. And what I advise those parents, and by the way, Aubrey, I know that there's a lot of news around parents that are against mask mandates, but the vast majority of parents and educators believe that masks should be required. And they believe that because they know that will keep their students safe. We know this Delta variant is not only much more contagious, but it's impacting our students, our young people more. This strain of the virus, they're getting sicker, they're going to the hospital at greater rates. Our children's hospitals are filling up. We have to put in place not some, but all of these mitigation strategies. So join us, educators, and all of the people in the communities that want to keep our students safe, to demand that our students have what they need and they deserve.
All right, Becky Pringle offering her advice and her thoughts this morning. Thanks so much for joining us. And if you want more on this, you can visit NEA.org.